is at the very core of this holistic education. And when we talk about well-being, as Samarth sir and Paramjit ma'am also mentioned, that resilience, tolerance, ambiguity, uh, even delayed gratification is something that is very necessary to inculcate peace, justice, and a sense of community. And to make this possible, we have devised a three-step process. And as Samarth sir mentioned, that reflection is something is very necessary, and the whole process starts with that. So it starts with self-reflection. We make students talk about different stuff, may it be the well-being part, may it be the social justice part, and different other counterparts. And we then project it to the mentioned stakeholders. And the last part is the participation, because I understand giving a lecture is just half part of it, but experiential and getting hands-on is something that kids learn more from. Even one of the agenda says that clubs, art workshops, music, dances, nothing but experiential activities, and we want to close that loop by that. So we had a very nice experience working with few kids from Hyderabad and Pune, and the tech has been developed and it is very easy to use for educators and as well as students. Our overall aim here is to make this available across the country, specifically tier 2 and tier 3, because as we go down, it is very hard to give out the information and take them on to the stage. And we believe that if you catch them young, if you catch them fresh, it would be a fantastic journey for them ahead in the future. And that is something that we are trying to do, and we are looking forward for your support and make this a possibility, not just in India but across, to all the young minds out there. Even I am a young mind and I want to help everyone out there. So yeah, that's it from our side. We are looking forward for some collaboration from all of you, and specifically guidance and mentorship from all of you. Right, thank you so much, Samat, for giving this stage. And yeah, all to you.
Thank you, Siddesh. Always there when it comes to collaboration. And Nadezda, all the way from Russia, would you like to say something? You're the country ambassador from there. Unmute yourself, please, and speak out, Nadezda. Okay. In the meantime, till Nadezda can join, we have Hanumant. Yes, what would you like to say? Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to everybody, and I am very much glad and elated to be the part of this group. I have been invited to this group by Gurjat Kaur ma'am, and just now I heard from Samarth and Paramjit. It's a very enlightening platform. I was waiting for such because with working with SDGs, it is something which had initiated us to participate in such a large program. And just as Siddesh said, Siddesh is from Pune. I am from Pune. I am from the Lexicon International School, Pune, and Symbiosis. So far, Siddharth sir is there. There are many other teachers which are familiar with us from Symbiosis College and University too. So I'm glad that Siddesh is here. Another thing is that we have started with our students just the collaboration. Just exams are going on, so our contributions will come a little later in next week onwards. But just 2 days back, on 11th of February, we had a large event in Pune city called Vishwa Shanti Japa. That is the prayer which was organized by Sadhguru Vamanrao Pai Foundation. This event was attended by more than 3 lakh people, and 3 lakh people in a unison voice, they have prayed a prayer. हे ईश्वरा सर्वांना चांगली बुद्धी दे, आरोग्य दे, सर्वांचं भलं कर, कल्याण कर, आणि सर्वांचं तुझे गोड नाम मुखात अखंड राहू दे. Means that they were praying for the welfare of the entire world. So let the God's name be with us, and let everybody should be in a welfare mode. So think of well-being of others. That was the meaning of that prayer. So more than 3 lakh people involved in that. That was the thing which happened in this week. Thank you.
Wow, that's too good. Nadezda, I would like you to speak before anybody else take over. I can see you, Nadezda. Okay. All right. Shalini, would you like to say something, please? Another school leader is here. Okay. Now, anybody can raise their hand and speak out. And Samarth, would you like to say something? Please go ahead.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Shalini. Yes.
Good evening, everyone.
First of all, I'm very glad to be a part of such a nice event, and I'm looking forward to having a great experience and involving my students, which would be the new bunch. They are not aware much about SDG, though I have introduced SDG in my school, but they need the long way to go. So I'll try my best to get them involved. They will also learn under your guidance, ma'am, and we are looking forward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Nice hearing from your side, and I'll give my best. I'll try to be a active member like I did in last project with Paramjeet ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we have Veronica. I think I'm calling out the right name. Veronica, please go ahead and speak. Yes.
Thank you. So again, thank you for having me. I am really excited to be on board on this project. And while you were talking, I was writing down some ideas for projects because I come from Uruguay in South America, and I work in both countries because I live on a border town. So that means that I work in a school that teaches in Uruguay and in Brazil. So I'm representing both countries. I don't know if there is anyone else from Brazil here in this meeting. And so it's going to be, and we are a school that works with project. We use PBL, project-based learning, to teach the language of English. We don't use conventional approaches. We also use CLIO. That means that we teach based on content. My lessons, for example, I work a little bit with older people. So with old teenagers, we work on geopolitics. And I am writing down some ideas for projects. Today is our first meeting in my school because here our school year begins on Monday. So I will be sharing with them the ideas, and we are going to start organizing projects right away. So I hope I can help somehow. I know that the time difference it's a little bit of an obstacle. We have a 9-hour time difference, but I will do my best to be on the meetings or to participate in any way that I can to the best of my capacity so that I can help with this initiative. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you. We are so delighted to have you, and we are very, very humbled and honored and everything. And what a wonderful team we're going to have. I think we have Swati now. She's raised her hand. Yes, Swati, please go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a very basic suggestion, or maybe if you all can help with the idea. Let's say if we are going to work with the young peace champions, with the students to start with, we need to see that peace becomes a habit with them. They should grow up thinking, feeling positive peace. And that has to start from let's say when they are in classes 4, 5, 6, let them grow up with this. So I was suggesting, like Sonia ma'am suggested, we are in the very beginning of the session right now. Can all teachers, and because I'm a language teacher, so that's my preference. I'm talking from that, keeping that in mind, that can we have a curriculum developed, like we can do a bit of like peace education in every class. See, I cannot say, once again, therein comes the policymakers' role. We cannot make it a part of curriculum that way. But definitely every teacher has within his or her capacity the freedom to make a lesson plan. We have language classes, right? Where we do, the content is completely like language development can be done through so many ways. Let's say a comprehension passage, or when we are taking up, speaking skill development or writing skill development, can we just structure it this way, class-wise, that the content is always peace-related, some way or the other. It's like, if they're going on reading materials on peace, even the passage which they read is, taking them through peace education. Even a simple, let's say you ask them, you frame questions for them where they have the high-order thought questions, where we are guiding their thought process on the lines of peace. If we can design some lessons, at least for 1 or 2 language classes in the entire month, is it possible we can work that way? Maybe we can align it with the history lessons also, when in some class they are learning about war, and from there, whatever the results of war they are learning, and now we just I'm not being able to give you because I just thought about this right now. I don't have any concrete idea, but I was
Yes.
thinking if we can bring this in the classroom, can it be done?
Yes.
Over to
Uh,
Samarth, please.
Yes,
Yes.
I'll just take 2 minutes to for this. Swatiji, that's a wonderful idea. And in fact, that's the logical end of everything.
Yes.
I always say that all of this is possible if we inspire. And what is inspire? Integrating education on, sustainable development goals, peace and integrity in the roadmap for education. That is something that I've come up with. So it's very important for all of this to be mainstreamed in the curriculum, and that's why the emphasis on having policymakers. The idea is not to showcase as much as to tell them that, look, this is important and this is working. So of course some elements are there in the NEP, and it is reflected in some way, but how do you actually integrate it in the classroom education? That's very important. And for this, at UNODC, we have also developed, because these are very sensitive issues as well. It's not as easy as environmental, things or health related aspects. When you're talking about peace, justice, and strong institutions, or things like crime prevention, these are often very sensitive. So what we have done at UNODC is developed a globally accepted, peer-reviewed, educational guidance, educational material, teachers' handbooks with activities that can be undertaken in the classroom. And I'll be very happy to share them. These are all open source and free of cost, and you can adapt them, take ideas from there and adapt them and use it. And one thing, as you said, as a language teacher, you can use stories. Storytelling is a very powerful medium in
Yeah.
changing behaviors. So that is one thing that we could suggest. But I'll be very happy to share those activity handbooks with all the educators here. See how you can adapt, and of course you have the full freedom to develop something on your own. That is the idea of this initiative. And we do hope that if something works out in your school, that can be like a template for other schools to also follow. And if we have some policymakers there, we can always emphasize and together as a group advocate that this be actually incorporated in the curriculum formally. And by the way, the teachers handbooks that I was sharing and the content that I'll be sharing, these are all very adaptable. So as you said, history lessons could be used and other things could be used. It's all very integrated, so we'll be very happy to share that with you. But the ultimate idea, as you have mentioned, is to integrate it in the curriculum, and we have to find ways on how do we move forward on this. So thank you for raising this very important thing.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Samarth.
much.
Asma, you were there, but suddenly I feel that you're not there. Asma is from Pakistan and she comes into that policy framework. Asma, where are you? You raised your hand. If you are there around, please speak out.
Yes, thank you, Paramjeet, for having me. uh, uh, well, Summer said very great things, and just my friend said, I just wanted to add. She mentioned that uh, adding these things in curriculum is the great way, because we are now the educationist, though I'm not from the education like academia, but education or curriculum is the only way uh, uh, to flourish the young minds, I mean the students. And it's a gradual process, like the theory of change. When change occurs gradually, it's flourished the minds, the young minds, and definitely within 5 years or one decade we will see the results of that change. So when adding peace, as Summer said, that is a very sensitive topic when it comes to diverse country with diverse culture and ethnicities. So I would definitely endorse that idea that it should must be added into the curriculum, and especially when Madam, I think Nazi or Sonia was saying that we should plan for the next year. And Madam Paramjeet, you very well addressed that point that you will release the e-newsletter and the galleries. That's the great way. And I just want add one thing, that if we uh, print a magazine yearly or quarterly or after 6 months, and students who have done things in their whole I mean year, if they send their entries that what they have done during their whole year, I mean how they supported the idea of peace, how they played their role, and if you publish that magazine on quarterly basis in schools or colleges, that would be a great step. I still remember that we used to be eager to that we wanted our queries to be published in our annual magazine. So for that we used to struggle hard, that we want to portray that we have done that thing. I was a scout girl and I was the girl scout, and I used to make sure that I have done these activities to support the girls, to help out them, to provide them counseling, because these
Right.
at that after that I'll be able to send my story for the annual magazine.
Right.
So
Okay,
the only
okay,
thing
okay.
Right.
I just
Uh, and
thank you.
Asmaji, just taking on what Asmaji said, this is absolutely right. So some motivation for students, especially these days, and you know this better, is what is happening to our work, and they need it for their portfolio, they need it for their, for their other professional endeavors or whatever it is. And once they get it from platforms like this or from a UN setting, it gives them a greater high. It gives them a greater impact. So that is something that we will strive to do. And definitely we have the forums available. All we need is good work that is happening. And I assure you complete backing from, our end.
Thank you,
I
Samar. We have Snehlata. If you could speak now, Snehlata, you've raised your hand, please.
Madam Parimjit,
Yes,
just wait.
ma'am. Good evening. Shall
Let
I continue
Snehlata
or shall I?
speak. Okay,
Yeah.
Asma, whatever.
Samar, you said that there are channels we are backing. So I would just wanted to add, it's not, I mean, it's just not the, I'm not talking, just praising someone, but I would appreciate highly that Madam, whatever Madam Paramjit Kaur is doing, I think that's the way that come up with that I not only ideas but the practical way. I would just want to add that how she approached me constantly and how she messaged me, I think that's the way to keep people like-minded people with. I would highly appreciate in front of the 100 peoples or more than 100 peoples who are there, uh, I mean how she made sure that I should attend that. I think it's just because of these platforms are actually working. So hats off and salute to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Asma.
want to add.
That is very
Good
kind of
evening.
you.
Good
Snehlata,
evening.
yes.
Yes. I'm Principal Indirapuram Public School and just wanted to inform you of something which we did recently. We organized on 24th of January a mini marathon, and that was Run for Peace, and more than 400 students along with their parents, even smaller kids as well. They joined in the marathon despite the weather conditions that were prevailing at that point of time in Delhi, and it clearly shows that world is ready for messengers of peace. So this is just to share that we have huge hope, and Indirapuram Public School definitely is going to contribute its part. Will play that
Thank
part.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
I
Snehlata.
have
I'm
one
so,
suggestion,
so
ma'am.
happy about it.
I have one
Yes,
suggestion. May I?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
So all these points can be considered. Along with this, I would like to add one point that we can come up with this idea that we should select some messengers of peace or peace ambassadors, a group of the students who will take the lead. If we
Yes.
make them active learner or active participant of this journey, it would be very easy for us, being the educators, to take up this journey along with our students.
Sure, Shalini, we have planned this and I'm sure we'll be sharing. So we'll have partners for peace, we'll have SDG ambassadors. We will be planned like this. I think
And
Gurjot also wants to say, yeah,
yes,
please.
please go ahead. Just very quickly on this idea is also maybe at a later stage, we could also look at having two groups from different schools, sort of working together with each other, because it always cross fertilizes ideas. So suppose
Yes,
there is
exactly.
like one team from one school and one team from another school working together, not competing, but working together on one
Yes.
project. That's a very good idea. Anyway,
Yes.
please proceed.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
I just wanted to share that probably last 1 year I've been working with an organization where whatever work my students are doing related to SDGs, they are putting it on the portals, and instead, on behalf of the organization, at the end of the year, tying up with various organizations like CRY and PETA, they'll be getting an impact card, a green impact card, apart from the points which those children keep collecting throughout the year. They keep getting certificates and somehow some cash vouchers, whatever. But the purpose is the main important part is that the end of the year, along with their box, they're going to carry a green impact card, which is being signed by all these organizations. So the children value it, like just as Ma'am said, for them that matters what they'll go. And so I am recently started working with that particular NGO where they've designed a tech platform for only for this purpose, that the students post their work, they get points, and at the end, all those organizations, whatever work they do, they'll be getting an impact card, the entire collateral of the entire work that they've done throughout the year. Thank you.
that's wonderful idea, Guljot. Impact card. We just loved it. I'm sure we're going to incorporate. We'll discuss it. I'm sure Samarth is
I'll
taking
share
note of
your
it.
number with the gentleman, ma'am. Maybe you know you can talk to him directly, so we can
Okay.
include him in the project.
The more the merrier. Everybody for peace is what the idea is.
And
So,
I have a
normally,
query, ma'am. We
yes,
have a
beta.
huge network of Rotarians, Rotractors, and interactors who work for the
Yes,
community.
yes,
And but like I feel if we involve a couple of Rotaract clubs, so the college students, the youth, because we'll be able to get them more. And I just wanted to share it with them, but I did not understand that will we be inviting them to the same WhatsApp group, because they are not directly associated to me, but yes, I am a part of a couple of groups where the people keep working and posting the community work they do. I can definitely motivate them forward that those things, but how to make them join and where, that is my query.
uh, we'll plan it out, Guljot. We'll come back to you. I know you are one of those, great SDG change agent and a SDG goalkeeper. You are very, very active. And I've just noted down these suggestions. We'll be working, discussing, and we'll definitely come back on this. Normally, we try to
Thank you,
have
ma'am.
just 1 hour session. But with so many hands around, if anybody would like to say, please go ahead. Anupams, please go ahead and speak.
Good evening, everybody. It's
Good
so
evening.
heartwarming. Am I audible? Am
Yes,
I
you are.
audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
such a heartwarming evening, While I was just thinking, just thought came to my mind that the Sustainable Development Goal 16, focuses primarily on peace and, strong institutions. But can we think about something regarding animal welfare, that can be explored and integrated into the initiatives? This will again, life, on land, and like there are opportunities, we can incorporate considerations for animals. There are children, who love animals, like we all should love them. But though I think we should think about this as well, animal welfare and their interconnectedness, and recognizing that the human and animal well-being together, addressing the issues of justice and compassion for all living beings. I think we can address that as well.
That is a very interesting idea, and of course, I mean, life on land. Some of the other SDGs are so important and so critical and so close to, our hearts as well. For this, we would focus largely on SDG 16 because that's the mandate. But what you could do is, of course, looking at compassion, looking at things like, cruelty against animals or wildlife crime, something like that. If you want to look at, of course, you're very welcome. That's part of SDG 16. But not so much, I would suggest at this stage on environment because we do have different initiatives going on around that as well. So I'd be very happy to actually connect you if you're looking at environmental issues to some of the other work that is going on. But for Rise Up for Peace, I would suggest, even if you want to get into the animal space, we could look at compassion and children, compassion towards all living things. That's a very good theme, or wildlife crime, in case you want to get into that area. But that is very interesting. At the same time, of course, animals, life on land, life on water, and all the other goals are equally as important. We do have different efforts that are going on, and I'll be very happy to connect you to some of the other initiatives that are going on
Yeah, Samar,
as
thank
well.
you. Thank you. Yes, actually, I'm recognizing, the interconnectedness of the same thing, human and animal well-being, like compassion and peace. When we talk about peace, it's about, again going against the animals. Again, it relates to peace only, right?
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you so much.
So Ayyappa, you are there. I could see now you have landed up at your own place. If you could say a line or two, because we need to wind up now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's one thing we learned from you, ma'am. Very particular about time. Yes, we all learned that.
So all right, 30 seconds for 2, 3 people who are there. Raise their hand. Tajinder, go ahead, please. 30 seconds.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I just that we need to have any kind of registration for this project, or how we can collaborate on this. Any particular thing that we are not known. I just want to clarify that.
We've got a wonderful group and we're going to mention everything over there. We'll be having some structured activities and the children are going to do in their own schools under the leadership and guidance of education heroes, I call the teachers in the classroom. All right. And then we'll compile them up and it'll be a monthly e-newsletter, not a yearly. Okay, so we'll be doing everything. And as we move ahead, you will come to know. You can always put up your query in the WhatsApp group, which is there, and we'll be answering it. Okay, and then thank you so much, Tajinder. We're very lucky to have you. Rakesh, if you have to say something, thank you, darling. Rakesh, anything? 30 seconds only, son. I can see your hand up, so I thought. Okay. Ayyappa, would you like to say 30 seconds for you also? So unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm looking forward to the session. As the earlier said, if we get the structured program detail, it's easy for us to include in the our year calendar, because we are now making our year calendar. So it's useful for us, for my school, as well as we can spread it over to our Sagodia schools also. Now this time we can spread to the other people, because last 2 years we are doing in our district with the district administration. Collector used to call all the school principals, all the board principals, and we used to, because I'm here as a psychologist, I share that session with the collector. So we do every year. This year, with help of Samath sir, sure we will rock the show. So we are planning and we will invite Samath sir also.
Lovely. Lovely.
Thank you.
Just one thing I can, if I just very quickly will add, is that, we, as all of us, the 114, 126 were there, originally. How many people are there? We should also aim at getting other educators, other educational leaders as well, and especially from the grassroots. If we can have more people from the
Government.
from the vulnerable sort of communities, maybe in the tribal schools or maybe in rural areas, if we can have some educators from there as well, it just adds to the work, and we can have a lot of cross fertilization of ideas, because some excellent work is also going on in the rural areas as well. So in case you can help us in getting more people, especially from the vulnerable side, I think that will be very, very helpful.
Samarth
Okay.
Ayappa Raj is going to have all his team of educators,
Yeah.
different schools he's associated, all his team comes in once we
Excellent.
start this. So, Veronica, 30 seconds for you before we call it a day.
Okay,
Before
so
calling it a day, we would be taking a group photograph. So I request all of you to please stay back for the group photograph. That is the first
Yes,
session. It will be historic for all of us.
yes.
Yes, Veronica.
yes, let's go back to the part of the animal cost. Somebody mentioned that they wanted to include something with the animal. And I believe it is possible to associate it with SDG 16. Actually, we did it last year in my school. We did a fundraising, a marathon to raise food for animals. But the final point of the research was to prove that um, compassion with other species says a lot about us humans. It's not possible to be able to relate and to emote with another human if you're incapable of having compassion for other species and for interspecies relationship. We also conducted a research that proved that our bonding with other species actually improves, in many cases, our bonding with other people. There are people who will only socialize and connect with others via owning a pet or via caring for pets. So this is one thing, one way that it could be as integrated, SDG 16 with the animal cost, not necessarily environmental. Oh, our research also showed that the general levels of mental health and also physical health in our town improved once we got more people involved with the animal cost, because there were less accidents caused by stray animals. There were less stray animals, littering and contaminating the public spaces. So it can be done. Regarding integrating it with the curriculum, I am working on it right now. I am typing a draft of how the SDG 16 could be integrated into the language curriculum in particular, but any curriculum. And allow me to suggest a book that we use at my school. Is from Oxford University, and it's called Global Perspectives. I am going to share a free sample, if you allow me, in the group chat. Let me read some of the index, some of the units. The units are not called units, they're called challenges. And they are, for example, unit number 1, challenge, what makes us human? Diplomacy and national traditions, education, employment, water crisis, migrations, looking at the future, sustainability, making a difference, conflict resolutions. These are the units of the book. It's a book that teaches English, but it's as a medium using those topics. So if you allow, I can share this book in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, please do so. We're looking forward.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now the cameras to be on, please. Everybody, no, we're not going to go in hiding now. Lovely ladies and smart gentlemen, boys and girls, come on.
People who have not switched on the cameras, we'll give them half a second to comb their hairs, to set the background right. But please do switch on the cameras.
Yeah, go ahead, everybody, please. So we have the gallery mode. Charu, what are you looking into? Come on. I think this should be the first thing we do. At least
Yes.
mid-session, we should do it.
Yes.
Anyways, it's okay.
All right. So would anyone volunteer to take the photo?
Now,
Oh,
Charu
okay.
ma'am, but look, Nisha is also there. Yeah, please go ahead.
Maybe one thing we could do, if we could just raise our hands into a V or a thumbs up, I think that'll be great. That'll just make it more lively.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Wow, that's great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I find some thumbs up also now from Guljot.
Excellent.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Samad. We are so indebted to UNODC for, this wonderful initiative, and all of us are part of it. We're very, very thankful to you for this.
No, ma'am,
Yes.
thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for joining in. We are all partners, equal partners,
Yes.
and we will all make this a grand success and very impactful. I mean,
Okay.
thank
All
you.
right. So
Lovely.
Swati goes for clapping.
Thank you,
Thank you.
ma'am. Thanks for
Thank you
getting
so much,
connected.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
ma'am.
Thank you
Bye.
all. Bye. Thank you,
Participation.
Swali
Bye now.
ma'am. Thank you, Gurjot ma'am.
Thank you.
Happy to see you.
Thank you. It was
Bye.
a great